Match week 7 in USL League One takes on the Volunteer State. A well-rested Greenville side looks to bounce back against cup-set charging Chattanooga. Phil Galati with you every step of the way from CHI Memorial Stadium. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for Greenville. Last time out in the league, a loss against 10-man, 1 knocks. Meanwhile, Chattanooga coming off a huge win in the midweek on penalties in the Open Cup. Thanks in large part to their main man up top, Matt Bentley, with 3 goals in 4 USL League One appearances this season. Spent some time playing in his native England and for a handful of teams across this league. And for his head coach, Scott McKenzie, the hot start to his season, well, his coach said it was to be expected. No one in the league works as hard off the ball for his teammates, and he's gotten his reward early and often in 2025. At the back for the Red Wolves, Jason Smith in his debut professional season turned 22 on Tuesday, but has played with head coach Scott McKenzie since he was 19 with the Chattanooga affiliate in League Two. Recently graduated from Syracuse and was named to the League One Team of the Week in his very first week in the big leagues. His head coach saying he has something to prove in League One. Meanwhile, for Greenville, their man up top, a familiar face to Chattanooga fans in Ropapa Mensah. He led the Red Wolves in scoring last year with 9. That is more than a quarter of all the goals they scored in 2024. Now it's about finding his footing in a new side. Those were the words of his head coach, Rick Wright, and his first time playing against his former club tonight. Meanwhile, a man that needs no introduction for Triumph fans in Evan Lee, who was named to the 2024 All-League second team, was an All-League first team selection in 2022. The man who leads League One in minutes played, matches won, and matches played. When he started his career, he was an out-and-out defender, but his head coach, Rick Wright, saw something in him in the early days and has pushed him to get better and better offensively. Last year, he had 5 goals and 2 assists to his name, and the potential for this man, in the words of his head coach, is off the charts. 2 prolific goal-scoring teams tonight with plenty of league veterans, and 2 former Red Wolves making their return to the den wearing a new color for the first time. It's gonna be must-see soccer, but we'll take a break before we get underway. Opening lineups and the first half kick in just a little bit. See you soon.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber-fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga, because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
Chattanooga looking for its first 3 points of the new campaign. Greenville, after a long-awaited return to the pitch, almost ready to get back underway in the first meeting between these two sides in 2025. We'll take a look at the starting 11 for both sides. First up with the home side, the Red Wolves, under head coach Scott McKenzie in his second season as the full-time head coach. 3 at the back is the go-to. Eric Kinsner on the left, Declan Waters returning for his second stint with the club in the middle, with Owen Green to his right up top. 2 wingers on either side of Matt Bentley, leading the Red Wolves in scoring this year. 3 goals to his name in 4 appearances, with Zahir Vasquez, the former Central Valley man, to his left, and Omar Hernandez in his second season with Chattanooga on the right. As for Greenville's first 11, a little bit of a different look for them. Leo Castro, their leading goal scorer, starts on the bench tonight. So too does Siobhan Marsh, who was second in scoring for the Red Wolves last year with 6. Their main man up top at 2024, Ropapa Mensah, returning to the Wolves' Den for the first time, wearing a new kit. To his right, Rodrigo Robles gets the nod for his third start of the season with 1 goal contribution to his name in 2025. A lone assist, in fact, a game winner as well against the Independents back on April the 5th. 4-4-2 on paper. It's going to be very interesting to see how Greenville will play off the ball. Head coach Rick Wright saying they wanted to dominate possession in this one because Chattanooga is a team that can make the most of their chances even when they are few and far between. A final huddle for both sides. For Chattanooga, it has been a very busy week. Played on Wednesday, went to 120 minutes against the Las Vegas Lights of the USL Championship. Managed to get the cup set win in the PK shootout by a margin of 4-3. Before that, went all the way out to the West Coast with AV Alta. Fell in a 5-goal thriller by a score of 3-2. Greenville, however, have not played soccer in 10 days. Were given a weekend off to recharge and have been ready to go ever since. Rodrigo Albuquerque is the man with the whistle, and he will get things underway. Chattanooga on the right side of your screen. Chattanooga attacking to the left. Greenville in the white away strip with the green shorts, headed to the right. Just the second match on home turf this season for the Red Wolves. The first a 2-2 draw against South Georgia Tormenta FC. 3 of the 4 goals in that game coming from the penalty spot, including Matt Bentley in the 88th to seal a point. Ayumbilla going down. Anguiano slid in and already into the book. Carlos Anguiano picking up a yellow card in just the second minute of action. And number 6 for Greenville. In trouble in the early stages. Jordan Ayumbilla winning the ball back after a poor touch from Robles. And it's a dangerous tackle when Anguiano goes in with the studs exposed like that around the ball. Got to time it absolutely right. And he didn't then. Ramos will swing it in. It's a low one. Takes an awkward bounce. Headed back in front. Bub into the air. So too is Lee. Falls to the feet of Zaire Vasquez. (4-4-2) on paper for Greenville, but Robles dropping into midfield a little bit deeper. Sebastian Velasquez, the Colombian, 34 years of age, slotting it up top next to Ropapa Mensah. Here comes Chattanooga for the first time. Promising opportunity for Ramos! Kisses the post. From way out, a heck of an effort, nearly finding the back of the net. The U.S. Virgin Islands international testing the back line for the visitors early. One touch out of his feet, a second fired low. Rankenberg didn't get a touch to it, but a fortunate bounce for him off the post. Scott McKenzie in his second season as the full-time head coach of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, but has spent a long time watching a lot of players grow their professional careers. Was named the Academy Director for the franchise in March of 2021 after a season with the League Two team, Utah Red Wolves, affiliated with the club. Many of these players graduates of that team. One well on the far side by Hernandez, skipping through. Hernandez himself a graduate of a USL League Two affiliate. Nearly getting it right back, instead crossed out over the byline. And immediately in possession, Connor Evans on the near side at the bottom left corner of your screen, getting as wide as possible. Four at the back for Greenville. They're going to want to stretch things horizontally as much as they can. Spinning deflection off the leg of Bentley, just getting in the way of the clearance. Second chance now for Zane Bubb to try his direct pass over the top that's headed down. Second ball, one back by Greenville and dispossessed by Ayambilla. Quick feet once again from the Ghanaian. Trying to turn on the afterburners. Head on a swivel and finds a good pass into midfield. Turning is Vasquez and intercepting is Polak. Heavy touch. Will deflect out for a triumph throw. Greenville returning to play for the first time in over a week. Had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Triumph, Rick Wright, about what it's like maintaining momentum after so long away from the pitch. And he said sometimes it's those breaks in play that allow us to regroup, check in with our mentality, check in physically, of course. He gave his side the weekend off, Friday to Sunday. They hit the ground running on Monday. And he says they've had some very strenuous, intense, but ultimately productive training sessions since. Meanwhile, Chattanooga was not afforded the same luxury. They've covered 4,100 miles of travel this week. Their third match in 7 days. Continuing to represent League One in the Open Cup strong with their upset on Wednesday. Lee with a nice pass. Robles to the far side. Velasquez now lined up out of possession just a few minutes ago on the near side. He's already taken a foothold on the far side in possession. A man with his experience, just given that positional freedom to dictate play and control the tempo. And already that patient play of Greenville on display. Mentioned earlier how head coach Rick Wright wanted to boss possession in this one, knows that his side is capable of doing so. In the early minutes, there were some poor passes out of the back. Chattanooga with the high press, forcing turnovers in
promising patches of grass, and now the Red Wolves have been forced into their defensive shape, which they have held well thus far, though Tyler Polak has found a pocket of space to himself. He'll work in the cross, and it's over everyone in white and green. Jason Smith to restart play. Fresno, California native, played his college ball with Utah Valley before making the switch to Syracuse. Started the first few games of his senior season. But then became the second choice for the school, and now it's about proving his potential, said his head coach, Scott McKenzie. He's been driven since day one to prove himself in this league. Someone who, even at 19 when he was playing in USL League Two for head coach Scott McKenzie, quote, carried himself like a true professional, had very clear objectives, talented shot stopper with good long-range distribution. Kinsner in no hurry to restart possession. Red Wolves doing well to force a mistake from Greenville. Good header into the path of Vasquez. Trying to burn Evans for pace. Vasquez popping right back up. Still battling for every inch. It's a very good tussle in the end between the two. Evans got a lot of space in front of him. Tried to switch the point of attack once again. Played it behind the run, but Greenville able to drag the Chattanooga defense laterally in the early stages of this one. Finding the space when they want to go in another direction. Rick Wright in his 7th season with the club, his 2nd as the head coach, leading the team to their 2nd semifinal in 6 years last season. The USL on the CBS Sports Network continues in April. Hot starting San Antonio FC take on the reigning USL Championship title holder Colorado Springs Switchback FC, April 23rd at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Lee, look at the space afforded to him as well. Greenville defense doing such a good job of moving up as a unit. And when they do, they're able to find the short passes to their midfield line with players in a lot of space. Ben Zakowski unable to find some space for himself. Knapp. First bit of sustained possession for Chattanooga. Difficult ball to go long, asking a lot of Bentley. He's managed to get there and win the throw. Keep an eye out for that long direct pass, the Route 1 ball as they call it for Chattanooga. Matt Bentley, a talented hold-up player, uses his body well when he doesn't have a lot of options around him. Omar Hernandez has the long throw in his locker. It's a dying art. But he does it so well. Knapp getting up for it, and in fact, fouling a player in the process. It was a cannon of a throw. And a real tool as both of these sides look to find their goal-scoring form. 5 goals apiece in League One in 2025 for Greenville and for Chattanooga. Chattanooga in 11th as of right now on 4 points. Looking at the live table, Greenville in 5th with 8. The exact same number of goals for and goals against. Lovely flick for Walefi. Turns it right back for Knapp. Drops the shoulder. Plays Ramos in stride. Ramos by 2 defenders into the box and poked away. Knapp onto the second ball. Knapp marauding his way through. Going down, and referee immediately waves it off. The touch just seemed to get away from him. Slaloming his way into the 18-yard box, losing possession, and here come Greenville on the counter. Thought about breaking at speed for a half second. Now the Triumph will settle into their shape once again. That is where they are most comfortable. That's where they play their best soccer. Keep an eye on Evan Lee, right in the center circle, number 12 for Greenville. And the job he does off the ball, directing traffic, telling his teammates when and where to make their runs. Constantly has his head on a swivel, always looking around, making himself familiar with his surroundings. He's found a pocket of space as well between the midfield and forward lines for Chattanooga. Zakowski on his right, driven cross, awkward header. Smith called for it, instead was headed away once again. Now Walefi down for Vasquez. Green will settle things. Check out the new 2025 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit, along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Iambilla once again wants to use his speed and does. Cross deflected off of Evans, who has stymied a number of chances on this near side early on. Connor Evans, the Portland native, finished his college career with Portland after starting it with Stanford. Here's another look at that penalty shout for Chattanooga. And there is contact, but Tyler Pollock challenges it fairly, gets the ball, Michael Knapp losing his balance as he went to turn. Another big long throw towards Knapp. Still bouncing around. It's an awkward one, and it comes off of Declan Waters' last. That long throw for Chattanooga. We've seen it twice now. Omar Hernandez aiming for Michael Knapp. He's been well defended on that first 50-50, but if Chattanooga can win the second, that's where they can get a shooting chance, no matter how scrappy it may be. Smith wanted the long ball, but didn't see it on. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship, from the Academy to the big leagues. Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. #21st minute from Chattanooga. And a chance for the Red Wolves now at speed. A promising run for Vasquez! Parried low to his left by Rankenberg. The second ball cleared away before it can reach him. Coast to coast from Zaire Vasquez. And Chattanooga continue to knock on the door. Nobody pressing him. Continues to just take his space. It's a good low shot against a tall goalkeeper. Trying to go for Rankenberg's near post. And another long throw on the way now. Launched towards Knapp, headed before it could reach him. He managed to break free of his mark. Everybody staying forward for the recycled cross. Ayambilla to provide it. It's a good one, and it's headed right at Rankenberg. A free header from 6 yards out. Right down Main Street. Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Notably, in this early stages of the match, Chattanooga winning their aerial duels. On paper, it's not a team that may have the height advantage, but they've been doing well to work free of the spaces and make delayed runs. Check to the ball and then just drift off of it in the last 5-10 yards of the flight path. Make those half spaces available to contest these chances in the air. Zukowski on the ground on the near side, keeps the cross low. Easy enough in the end for Knapp. Bentley ran out of time, but gets the foul. Zane Bubb all the way up from the back in his first season with Greenville. Made 7 appearances for the Tampa Bay Rowdies last season. Started one of them and scored a goal versus Detroit City on August 21st. Staying very fluid up top for Chattanooga. On paper, Matt Bentley was the man in the middle. He directed Omar Hernandez to slide to his left.
Now Zahir Vasquez on the near side. Saw him just a few minutes ago from the far side on that promising run that he had. As Brandon Fricke has taken issue with the ball. Does it feel a bit flat? The referee says, yeah, maybe. So they've switched out the select ball for a freshly pumped up one. Still scoreless in the 25th minute between Chattanooga and Greenville. Phil Galati with you from the Volunteer State. And it has been the hosts so far creating the better chances. In fact, creating the only chances. Greenville yet to have a shot of any kind. 2 on target of 5 for the Red Wolves. Vasquez intercepting the header. Wants to turn and go, sees 3 white shirts with him. Bentley's turn dispossessed. Nice pass to split the defense as heavy first touch from Mensah gives it right back. Soccer season is here and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Another promising chance. Chattanooga flying forward with numbers here, forcing Zane Bubb to ground. Shake of the head from the former Team of the Week nominee. Did well to get there too. Vasquez was sliding in at that back post, ready to pounce. The last set piece for Chattanooga, Eric Kinsner got himself free for a header. We'll go with Omar Hernandez's left foot this time instead of his long throw. Lofted delivery. It was toward Waters, and the try from Vasquez, one to quickly forget. But this play so far from Chattanooga was to be expected for Greenville head coach Rick Wright. He wanted to boss the possession in this one, and the Triumph do have the edge, 60% to 40. But he mentioned how opportunistic the Red Wolves can be. Even if they only get a few chances, they make the most of them more often than not. Gunther Rankenberg has already been forced into action a number of times now for the visitors. Lovely switch. Zukowski taking it down in the box. Plays it short for Mensah. Contested ball goes the way of the hosts. Well, Papa Mensah running on against his former side. Denied a shooting chance. Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Mensah fighting for it in the air this time, going down, battling with Kinsner, whistle staying silent. Greenville now doing a better job of winning the second ball.
When they lose possession, they win it right back. They've been forced back more often than not. Three defenders on paper, but shifts to a 4 out of possession for Chattanooga. They do a good job of it as well. Having the midfielder on the weak side of the ball just slot in with the back line. Zakowski, fortunate deflection, can't make the most of it. Well, Leffy with a nice move. Once again, that last passage of play proving how Greenville is doing a better job of winning the second ball. Misplayed pass, they get right back onto it, and then when the chance fizzles out, they put pressure on the goalkeeper, win it back from the throw. Connor Evans is up high now from the back. Directed Anguiano to switch it, the lone man on a yellow card so far. Now Tyler Pollock. Lee told to turn. Couldn't do so in time. Bub. Good ball. The pass by Evans asking a lot of Zakowski on the run. Connected the line so well, Greenville, but when they get to the final third, that's where they've had a lot of trouble. Players making runs, but not finding space. This has been a bit of an Achilles heel for Greenville this season. Head coach Rick Wright saying there's been a number of games where we've dominated, but just haven't created the chances or give up one or two silly mistakes, and we've been punished by that. So when we look back at our video, when we get ready for our next match, it's about cleaning up those mistakes. That's a bad one at the back. Hernandez trying to capitalize off of it. Ramos gets it right back from Hernandez. Lovely 1-2. Ramos looking for support, trying to find it at the back post. Vasquez there once again. Denied the scoring chance. Well, Leffy saw the switch, but elected to play short instead. Knapp forced to chase. Lovely one-time ball from Vasquez, checking back for it. He's continued his run. The ball over hit to the far side. Robles away from danger. No nonsense clearance, but managed to win a throw out of it. Buckle up, fans. EPB Fiber Optics delivers the fastest internet speeds in Chattanooga over the area's only 100% fiber optic network. Find the recklessly fast speed your home or business needs at epb.com. Take a look at the foul against Papa Mensah, whose name we have not said a lot tonight in his return to the Wolves' den. 21 goals for Chattanooga the last 2 seasons. 13 of those were game winners. Had 9 to his name in 2024. Siobhan Marsh, available off the bench for Greenville, had 6 for Chattanooga. Those two combined for more than half the club's goals in the last campaign. Yet he has barely seen a whiff of the ball tonight. His former teammates shutting him down well. Velasquez going down, but sticking with it. Evans. Mensah waiting in the box. Cross isn't on just yet. Good pass for Pollock to explore some space. He's got a lot of it. Trying to poke it through for Velasquez, and the diagonal run made just a bit too late. Joshua Ramos shutting it down. A man who represents the U.S. Virgin Islands on the international stage and featured in the Latvian second tier after high school. Scored once in 27 appearances for South Georgia Tormenta. Someone who his new head coach, Scott McKenzie, says has something to prove this league. Someone with a lot of potential who feels maybe he hasn't maximized it just yet. Has an incredible ability to beat a defender and can create a lot of chances for us this year. He's created a couple early on. Red Wolves still seeking to profit off of it. Here is Ramos. Wants to go on a run. Gets the ball back to do so. Has a defender to beat, skips by him. Good ball into the box. And skied by Bentley from the corner of the 6. Right on cue, Joshua Ramos creating the chance. And the team's most prolific chance dispatcher in Matt Bentley. Getting underneath the bouncing ball. Difficult finish to do when it hops up like that. Right at the last second. Try to cushion it in with the side of the foot. Couldn't get over the top of it. Wins it right back. Nearly picking the pocket of the Greenville defense. Leffy's header. Down by Lee. Knapp fighting for it. A good sliding challenge by Zakowski. Iambilla went down, but certainly appeared from that look that Ben Zakowski got the ball. Went in with a lot of force, and that's what the referee's telling him. Ooh, and that's why anytime you leave your feet like that, there's that gap of air between Zakowski and the ground. He's got to be careful not to jump into those sliding challenges, because that is a one-way ticket to an early shower. A lot of ground to cover for Hernandez on the throw. Thought about it for a little bit. Instead tried to go down the line to no avail. Mensah. Great ball through. Smith is out of his area. Working back quickly in defense was Owen Green. A scary chance for Chattanooga, nearly out of nowhere. Iambilla dispossessed by Lee. A long-time Triumph man has covered a lot of ground on this one. Bentley. Forward for Hernandez. Going over, referee jogging the other way. Velasquez. Now Evan Lee, urged to charge onward. Has Evans in support. Evans toward the back post. Ropapa-Mensah taking it down. Can he find the net against his former side? Tried to shuffle onto his left, and Owen Green says no, sir. Nearly 1,200 minutes for the Red Wolves last year, Owen Green. Former USL League One champion with South Georgia Tormenta in 2022. They beat Chattanooga in that match and unable to get beat by his former teammate in that one-on-one. Mensah doesn't pick his head up, doesn't look for support, has one thing on his mind, and Owen Green able to read it all the way. Strong header down at the front post. First corner of the night for the visitors. Wasn't the strongest one. Now a chance to reset in the 40th minute. Tyler Pollock, the club's first ever signing. All-League first-team selection in 2019 and 2020. Restarting from the throw, it switched away from him to the near side. Headed down, Zukowski. Driven cross, Mensah was making the run for it. Didn't reach him in time. Bentley dispossessed by Lee. Seen a number of midfielders now for Greenville making those diagonal runs from central starting positions, with Chattanooga doing a good job of holding down the touchline, denying those passes. So Greenville players having to go one-on-one, like you just saw with Evans. The Red Wolves winning those duels more often than not. Ramos urged forward. Has to stop the charge for a moment. Skipping away is Hernandez. Ayambilla. Knapp. Good first touch by Green, down for Walefi. Plays a good ball on that weaker left foot, and the whistle will sound. Zane Bub getting a talking to. Not the first time tonight we've seen Zahir Vasquez use his body well. Didn't have any options with him and put himself in the path of the defender, invited that contact, made sure there was no way for Zane Bub to get to the ball without going through him. And that's exactly what happened. Now, this is a curious one. A little more than 30 yards out from goal. Easy enough to get this over the wall and under the crossbar. The hard part from this distance is doing it with pace. It could be crossing territory. Omar Hernandez having a think. Joshua Ramos joining in the discussions to his left. They've got eyes for goal, though. Hernandez will go for goal! And it is a good stop in the end by Rankenberg. Omar Hernandez has had a major piece to play in this first half, and Gunther Rankenberg doing everything he can to preserve the clean sheet. It's an awkward height. Look to bounce right in that goal mouth, and Reykjavik just able to smother it a little bit. If that ball bounced maybe a yard shorter, it could have been 1-0. Vasquez plays it back to the far side. Flag will stay down. Cross driven high and wide. Chattanooga on these set pieces have looked for Michael Knapp more often than not. On the long throw and the corners. Just 6'1", but manages to work himself free in those half spaces so well. Mensah in a foot race. Loses out to Declan Waters. Waters in his second season with the club. Trying to become a real anchor point, in the words of his manager, for this back line, as Jason Smith bravely claims that one. Needs a second to get back up on his feet through the contact. Appeared to be on the back foot as he went in the air for that one. Had to get a piece of it and managed to get all of it. Kinsner into the night sky. Pollock saw it all the way. Knapp reads the rebound. Walefi stamping it forward for Ramos. Let it bounce to his own chagrin. Into the first minute, and only minute guaranteed of stoppage time. Keep an eye on Declan Waters and Michael Knapp from the long throw. Hernandez to heave. It's toward Waters, headed down, Bentley! Difficult try. Almost managed to wriggle himself free. Three Greenville players marking Declan Waters. Somehow, he still got there. It was a very tough height at which to combat that ball for Matt Bentley. Couldn't steer it on frame. And that will do it for the first 45. Scoreless between Greenville and Chattanooga, with the Red Wolves boasting a fair share of promising chances. Unable to make their mark on the score sheet thus far, as they search for their first 3 points on home soil in 2025. (0-0) through 45 minutes. From the Volunteer State, Chattanooga and Greenville deadlocked after half number one. We've got a lot to talk about at halftime, and you won't want to miss any of it. Don't go anywhere.
He shoots, and he scores!
Do you know how fast you were going? 2.5 gig. with kids on the couch.
New 2.5 gig internet from EPB.
Slow down.
It's recklessly fast.
Too fast.
With SmartNet plus Wi-Fi.
Violation.
Turbocharging all your devices. More than twice the speed of the gig for just a little more. Only from EPB.
That is recklessly fast.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Scoreless first 45 between Chattanooga and Greenville, but there were plenty of goals last week in USL League One. Let's take a look at the goal of the week and the save of the week. We start with the goal of the week, and we go to the West Coast with AV Alta and Jimmy Villalobos. The former Chattanooga man played in the 2022 USL League One final, scoring bar down against his former side to level it at 1 apiece in the 12th minute. Incredible finish from the USL League One longtime journeyman AV Alta, winning that game by a score of 3-2. Meanwhile, for the save of the week, a familiar face for those watching tonight, Gunther Rankenberg for the Greenville Triumph, tested in this one-on-one from a number of yards out, gets his foot to it. An incredible stop from the goalkeeper against one Knoxville, but Greenville would fall in that match 1-0. Plenty of other highlights in this match to talk about as well. We'll talk about the first half highlights as well as some news and notes around the league and the upcoming schedule with plenty of action going on. We'll see you after the break.
Take a load off it. Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was
Put the load right on me.
totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to Chattanooga. After a scoreless first 45 between the Red Wolves and the Triumph, let's take a look at the news and notes around USL League One. Plenty to talk about, hard to just pick 3, but the major headlines that stand out. We start with the Open Cup with Union Omaha, AV Alta, and of course the Red Wolves all advancing to the round of 32. As USL League One has had an incredible showing in the Cup competition this year. Meanwhile, USL Boise
setting an expansion club record with over 2,500 ticket deposits in the first week. Incredible for the growth of the game out in the West. Meanwhile, the Jägermeister Cup, the long-awaited return. Meanwhile, also including the USL Championship sides this year in the expanded cup format, kicking off next weekend on ESPN+. As for last weekend, the team of the week in USL League One, so many names to talk about. We showed you the goal of the week from Jimmy Villalobos. How about Austin Pack, the Georgia native, returning to his home state in his first season with South Georgia Tormenta, former League One goalkeeper of the year, helping his side to a 2-1 victory over Portland with 5 saves, including one from the spot, 4th PK save of his career. Darwin Espinal scoring in both matches of Week 6 for the Richmond Kickers, bringing his total to 3 already. Oh, by the way, he scored a couple more tonight as well. Derek Waldeck has been having a great season as well for Spokane, the former North Texas man, getting his first goal for the Spokane Velocity in just the second of his professional career. And up top, Matt Bentley with 5 goals in 6 matches with his second brace of the season in that 3-2 loss against AV Alta FC. One more break. Highlights in second half soon.
He shoots, and he scores!
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Almost ready for the second half to get underway. A scoreless first 45 between the Chattanooga Red Wolves and the Greenville Triumph. Take a look at the full first half highlights. Despite a scoreless opening frame, still plenty to talk about. And take a look back at the tail of the tape. It has been almost all Chattanooga, though. When this one started, the Red Wolves made their presence known in the opening minutes. Joshua Ramos from 30-some-odd yards off the beans on toast. The bottom right corner of the frame, denying number 11 for the hosts. Good chance bouncing along the goal mouth, but not to be. A little bit later, Zahir Vasquez on the charge, just not closed down. Taking his space well and forcing a good low parry out of Gunther Rankenberg, coming off the Save of the Week nominee. Made a good save as well on the header from close range, then across to the back post that was just about stopped by Connor Evans and then cleared away. Matt Bentley made a couple runs as well. That one over the frame, and this is the best chance by far for Greenville. The intended target was Ropapa Mensah. A free kick from way out, parried by Rankenberg. Omar Hernandez from the set piece. We've seen a lot of long throws from him. Had a good try on goal. In fact, 3 tries on goal in the first 45 for Chattanooga of 10 shots on target. Greenville yet to register the first shot of the match. Despite bossing possession, they've been able to win the ball well, especially in the defensive third, switching the point of attack, dragging Chattanooga in every which way. But when the Red Wolves get the ball back, they're going very direct. They're making good runs, first-time passes, overlapping runs, underlapping runs,
really stretching things vertically and forcing Greenville on the back foot. But because Chattanooga plays so quickly, that's why they've only had 38% possession. However, they have been able to create much more with it. The expected goals aficionados among you, it's 0.28 in favor of Chattanooga, 0.0 for Greenville, trying to find their solution in the final third as Rapapa Mensah, in his return to the Wolves' Den, has not been able to really get a stake in this match. Keep in mind, however, Greenville do have Siobhan Marsh off the bench. They have Leo Castro available off the bench, their leading goal scorer so far this season. Michael Gonzalez as well, the young forward who made his League One debut against Westchester in the early stages of the season. There are a couple players for Greenville that know how to get it done, but also they have that core of veterans. Players like Tyler Pollock, players like Evan Lee, players that know what it takes in these games to find that final puzzle piece, that missing step toward the solution if they want to turn the tide of this match. For Chattanooga, though, it's gonna be more of the same in terms of how they were producing their chances. Now it's about going out, taking the bull by the horns, and finishing those chances. The front three of Matt Bentley, Zahir Vasquez, and Omar Hernandez have stayed very fluid. They've made it difficult for Greenville to mark them as a force between their one-touch passing and some of the runs they've been making, particularly the diagonal ones in the spaces. Zahir Vasquez in particular has shown his ability with his back to goal to hold up play, the true number 9, something that is a bit of a lost art in the modern game, but he does it so well. Meanwhile, Rick Wright, in his 7th season with Greenville, his 2nd as a head coach, issuing his final charge in a fist bump for his netminder, who had a great first half, tested more than I'm sure that man wanted him to be. Here's the aforementioned Omar Hernandez and Zahir Vasquez, 2 of the 3 up top for Chattanooga. Omar Hernandez in particular has been a very exciting watch in this one. Between the long throws, the set pieces, the corners, the free kick. He's got a lot in that locker, just 23 years of age. The Dalton, Georgia native. Played for the Dalton Red Wolves, a Chattanooga affiliate in League Two. A former Gatorade National Boys Soccer Player of the Year with Dalton High School. 84 goals, 64 assists, en route to a perfect 23-0 season that captured a state championship. And captured the eyes of Scott McKenzie as well, who will likely be pleased with that first half performance. What has he instructed his players to do in this second 45? Rapapa Mensah in green and white. A signing that the Red Wolves fans have taken 45 minutes to get used to, but will likely take much longer than that, as he will not prolong the wait for the second half. The ball rolling once again. If you're just joining us, Greenville on the right side of your screen, Chattanooga on the left. Philip Galati with you from CHI Memorial Stadium. Ramos falling foul of the referee's decision in the tussle with Rodrigo Robles. Now, we saw one corner kick in the first half for Greenville. It was not a very good one in terms of end product. Tyler Pollock with a natural left foot. He's got a venomous delivery. And there is a pull on the jersey there by Ramos, an easy enough decision for the referee to make. Pollock standing over it with Connor Evans. The right back from the left side plays a good ball in, headed up by Mbilla. Ramos once again fighting for it, and this time winning the foul. Evan Lee pleading his case in midfield for Greenville. It should be mentioned as well that Greenville will continue to fight in this one without Chaparrera. Their number 8 serving a suspension that he picked up last time out in that 1-0 loss to Knoxville. Someone who his head coach Rick Wright says doesn't have an off switch and doesn't get the accolades he deserves. Unavailable for selection tonight, as neither side has made a change to their opening 11. Vasquez with a creative flick, trying to soldier his way through. It's an awkward one. Now Greenville trying to go at pace for the first time tonight. Green intercepting. Poked away for now. As far as the midfield line for Greenville, there's a big shoulder by Walefi. A clean one. Velasquez told to turn. Here's Mensah. First touch let him down, as there was, in fact, one change at the interval. Benzikowski replaced on the far side for DJ Benson. Birmingham, Alabama native, into the match for his 4th appearance of the campaign. Bentley. Dispossessed by Benson. Substitute winning it back, and now Lee. Great ball through for Robles. Mensah trying to make the run. Wasn't on, but how on earth was Evan Lee able to play that ball? Thought about it at first. Defender closed him down and just tried to squeeze it through. Almost looked like a force, but a player of his caliber able to somehow find the needle in the haystack. Benton really zipping that one. Forced Evans to take it down and play into safety. Benton once again. Back heel for Velasquez, going down. Referee sounds the whistle. Michael Knapp committing the foul right on the edge of the area. And this may be the best opportunity of the night so far for Greenville. And there is contact there. It's not a ton, and Knapp maybe not having to make that challenge. Velasquez going away from goal and would have had a lot of defenders to try and get through. Now he stands over the set piece with Connor Evans to his left. Difficult angle to try for goal. Velasquez will go for goal. Stings the top of the netting. Put some pace on that shot. Not a million miles away. And that, truthfully, is the best chance for Greenville of the night so far, and it is in fact their first.
Simple trip at midfield, as it is still the 2nd minute yellow card shown to Carlos Anguiano. That is the lone caution of the match thus far. Now Vasquez and Hernandez having a chit chat. Vasquez will leave it behind. Up toward Knapp. Kinsner trying to take it down. Still bouncing around, and Bentley may be in an offside position, and he is. Michael Knapp continuing to be the recipient of these dead ball scenarios for Chattanooga. Yet somehow works himself free every time. There's a poor giveaway. Vasquez onto it! Zahir Vasquez breaks the deadlock. An uncharacteristic mistake at the back from Greenville. Chattanooga knocking on the door all night long and have burst through it. We've spoken time and time again tonight about how Chattanooga make the most of their chances despite not bossing the possession game. And that is absolutely spot on. Zane Bubb was trying to go long. Carlos Anguiano got in the way of it. Zahir Vasquez from 18 yards settles and picks his spot. Opens up with the instep. Keeps it low, tucks it away, and nothing that Gunther Rankenberg can do about that one. Zahir Vasquez has the first of the night, and in fact his first as a Red Wolf. What a mistake from Greenville. Zane Bubb is down after that last passage of play. In fact, he will be replaced. Ivan Ajakwa will take his spot. Zane Bubb named to the team of the week last week and will be the second substitute of the night for head coach Rick Wright. Greenville seeming to adjust a couple pieces positionally after that concession. Ajakwa will slide onto the left center of defense. Brendan Fricke, the captain, onto the right, where Zane Bubb was. Evan Lee still supporting from the back of midfield. But now getting a lot more of the ball, working towards it. It's a good move from the Triumph, looking for the immediate response, forcing a corner kick. Second corner of the night for Greenville. Chattanooga with 2 to their name as well.
Evan Lee encroaching in Jason Smith's penalty area.
2 arms up from Tyler Polak. Driven delivery to the back post.
Flashes across the goal frame. May have been a try for the Olympico from Tyler Polak. Michael Knapp went down, and Papa Mensah being consoled by his former teammate Walefi. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Lee. Robles. Again, nothing through on the counter for Greenville. Lee, Robles, lovely little flick. Difficult ball for Mensah. Velasquez wanted him to make the diagonal run, but tried to whip his foot around it, bend it into the space. Lee. It's a unique play style of Evan Lee since that goal. Sliding just about everywhere, playing one-touch passes and showing short if nothing's on forward. Player going down, holding his face on the far side. The referee will blow the whistle. Connor Evans up from the back, took some contact upstairs from Eric Kinsner. And another set piece opportunity early in the second half for Greenville. And there is an errant brush by Kinsner in that upper body area. Didn't mean it, but it does appear to be a foul. Saw this pair over the last dead ball scenario for Greenville. Velasquez went for goal. This time, looks as if Evans will be playing this one into the box, as there's been a disagreement. Almost like a pack of sardines in that 18-yard area. No personal space offered at the penalty mark. Driven in toward the massive bodies and flicked over the bar. Brandon Fricke, the defender, working himself free in an awkward attempt at goal. Nobody picked up his run, and it just bounced right in front of him. That's why he couldn't catch it cleanly. Trying to stick his trailing leg out for it. It's a very awkward deflection, as Jason Smith is given a warning not to take too much time to restart play. His long distribution was highly touted by his manager, Scott McKenzie, but we haven't seen too much of it from the netminder for Chattanooga, Jason Smith. Played short passes more often than not. And speaking of passes, Greenville up to over 350, nearly double the mark of Chattanooga. Anguiano. Benton. Switching the point of attack with Polak now. Head on a swivel. Tyler Polak still going. Finds a good pass. Velasquez thought about goal, instead gonna cross it in, and Smith claims. Leffy going down off the ball as well. Appeared that Sebastian Velasquez maybe could have had a try a goal, but took a secondary touch after settling it. His momentum kept taking him away from the frame. Tried to get that cross in despite that backward momentum, and the ball behind his planted foot. Trying to will it into a promising area. We'll take another look at it. It's a great ball by Tyler Pollock. It's a little bit behind Velasquez. You see that first touch, the ball just settles. When he pushes it out of his foot, thinks about the shot. It's a difficult angle with two defenders in front of him. Elects instead to go for the cross. Bending that cross around Walefi, who went down afterward. Follow the athletic trainer off the pitch. The man who wants to leave a legacy at this club, said his head coach Scott McKenzie. Someone who has seen the highs, the lows, been to a final, he's had injuries. Comes ready to compete every day, said his head coach, Scott McKenzie. Leffy on the field and in the community is just a living legend at this club. And personally for Coach McKenzie, he added one of his favorite people on the planet and one of the best humans he's ever been able to coach. Bentley wanted a foul, didn't get it. Tried to use his body with that hold-up play and lost out. Lee now tried to force it through. Walefi playing forward. Hernandez on his left foot. Cross right into the head of Ivan Ajakwa. Waters couldn't get there. He stepped up from a long way out. Mensa unable to explore that newly vacated space. Instead, Benton on the far side continues his run. Defender doesn't bite though. When Greenville have played those 1-2 touch passes and continued their runs, Chattanooga has stayed in their shape, doing a very good job of communicating off the ball, making sure every number is accounted for, not diving in, allowing other players to drag them out of position. Here's Mensa, heads it along. Velasquez's shot blocked. Pollock onto the rebound. Lee. Coca-Cola, the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Lee trying to settle, dispossessed unfairly by Matt Bentley, who claims he stopped the ball on a dime but went through the man to do so. This in a promising real estate. And I don't really know if Matt Bentley has gotten much of the ball there, aside from stopping it with his left arm. Evan Lee going down, and what a workhorse he's been in the second half for Greenville. Papa Mensah standing over it. this a familiar sight for Chattanooga fans. But not in the colors he's wearing. So here Vasquez, the goal scorer, will trot to the sideline. Will be replaced by Al Hassan. Meanwhile, Omar Hernandez to be taken off as well in favor of Pedro Hernandez. A man in his 4th season with the club after joining out of college in 2022. Al Hassan, the 19-year-old Ghanaian, venturing into the pro leagues for the first time, as Mensah has been called off of it. Connor Evans now stands over it, and so too does Tyler Pollock, with the latter now the lone man over the ball. Leaves it behind for Connor Evans. And that is emblematic of what a free kick is like from that sort of range. Couple Red Wolves young fans going after it. Evans going for goal, but right outside the area. The hard part isn't getting it over the wall, it's getting it back underneath the crossbar. Getting the topspin on the ball to take the flight path back down. Very difficult technique, and you can see from the way Evans followed through with his foot, and he got the side spin on it, but wasn't able to brush up and over the surface of the ball to bring it back down. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Rick Wright preparing a couple changes on the far side for Greenville. He's made a handful already. Good play from Chattanooga. Ayambilla going forward, stumbling. The sliding challenge from DJ Benton, getting the job done. Ball up to Mensah, asked to hold it up, and does so with Velasquez in turn. Couldn't split it for Lee. Awkward 50-50. Falling kindly for Al Hassan. Here comes the teenager. Gets the pass away, a little bit strong. Ramos onto it. Nobody showing short. Has to reset. Only 3 Red Wolves forward. We're all waiting in the box. Getting it away. Greenville still looking to try and clear their lines here. Ramos has space to work in the cross. Bentley is free. It's over him, but he'll get to the rebound. Ayambilla trying to bully his way through it over the touchline right in front of Scott McKenzie, who disagrees. And Rick Wright will make a double change. This an interesting one. Rodrigo Robles replaced by Siobhan Marsh, second in goal scoring for the Red Wolves last year. And Leo Castro onto the pitch, already getting into a shouting match with Jordan Ayambilla. Castro, the leading goal scorer this year for the Greenville Triumph. A very attacking-minded change, and a change with two very boastful resumes. Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. I mentioned the duo of Mensah and Marsh for Chattanooga last year, but these players in 2025, head coach Scott McKenzie had a quote to sum it all up. He says the identity of this squad is very simple. Follows a phrase that he loves. You can be a piano player or a piano carrier. And there's no piano player without the piano carrier, because those are the guys that get the job done. Someone's got to carry that big thing up the stairs in order to play it. He spent a lot of time talking to us earlier in the week about the piano carriers of this squad. Walefi, one of them, someone who carries a legacy at this club, replaced by Omar Gomez in his third season with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Headed on, Polak clearing it away. Gomez trying to settle it off the face of a defender, and the referee will stop it. That's exactly what the referee is pointing to. Any suspected head or neck injury has to be an immediate stoppage of play for safety concerns. Some of the Chattanooga players as well checking on Connor Evans. That was a rocket. He'll be checked out just in case. Gomez with his first touch, volleying his second. Oof. We'll make sure that Connor Evans is okay. Circle back to that point for head coach Scott McKenzie about the guys that he has in 2025. Wants players that are going to work hard, put in the extra effort. Omar Gomez working hard just seconds after he was introduced into the game. He touted a lot of players like Joshua Ramos, like Matt Bentley, who have that ability to play the piano. We've seen it times tonight, going one-on-one with defenders and making things happen, but the work rate of the squad is what really sets Chattanooga apart, said Coach McKenzie. And if they can do that, 2025 could be a very bright season. As Scott McKenzie himself sees a bright piece of plastic, shown a yellow card just a minute ago. Ball played into Bentley, going down. A roar from the Chattanooga faithful that will not sway the decision of the referee. '76th minute as of now. It would be the 53rd minute strike by Zahir Vasquez, the lone difference maker, capturing 3 points for Chattanooga on home soil for the first time in the new season. Gomez able to scurry away. Green saw the switch on. Ayambilla. Tried to go long once again, this time coming up empty.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
Eric Kinsner sending that one over the stanchion. If in doubt, kick it out. Quick correction as well to the earlier yellow card that was not given in fact to Scott McKenzie, but was in fact shown to one of the assistants on the Chattanooga sideline. It was an assistant coach for Greenville that was tasked with watching Chattanooga this week. Had a chance to speak with Rick Wright about preparation he did for this side. They played on Wednesday in the Open Cup. Rick Wright saying that 10:30 Eastern kickoff was a little bit too late for a man who tries to go to bed early. But what a game it was, and Chattanooga showing no signs of slowing down. 4,100 miles in a week, 3 matches, and trying to see out that third of the stretch with 3 points. Evans, low delivery, Mensah got it blocked. Marsh onto it. Second ball swung into the back post. Looping over Leo Castro, who ran out of room trying to get to it. Leo Castro with a flair for the dramatic. Scored in the match before last against the Charlotte Independents, that one in the 86th minute, capturing all 3 points on home soil for the Triumph. As the league stands right now, there's been a lot of movement today. One Knoxville currently one up over league leaders FC Naples in South Florida. Kempis Tequila penalty in the 45th minute sees Knoxville into second place. Richmond getting all 3 points earlier today. If all results hold, Greenville go down to 6th place with 7, with Chattanooga jumping all the way up to 8th with 6 points. Started the night in 11th. Forward Madison as well, the other match currently underway, down on home soil against Texoma. Rather, Richmond did not get all 3 points today. It was the 4-4 thriller against Westchester. 2 goals in second half stoppage time, 1 for each side. Tyler Polak. Jacqua. Rankenberg didn't see anything long, as they have done all night. Greenville doing a good job of finding the simple passes, playing the one-time ball. Lee's made a good run. Polak will take the space he leaves behind. Velasquez, a lot of room to work with. Wants to go on a run. Evans taking the space behind him. On his left. Crossing towards Siobhan Marsh. He was second to it in the air. The referee will allow the final change for Greenville as Tyler Polak will take a spot on the bench. Michael Gonzalez into the fray for just his second appearance of the season. Logged 8 minutes in his League One debut against Westchester. Lee wants it back, gets it back. Gonzalez with his first touches. Trying to skip by Ramos. Managed to do so. His cross met at the front post. Lee, bouncing ball. Good delivery. Castro! Denied the spectacular. Flying midair effort that was bravely blocked. Only EPB Fiber Optics delivers fiber-fast internet speeds up to 25 gigs to help you stream, game, work, play, and more on all of your high-tech devices at the same time. Find the recklessly fast speed you need at EPB.com. Diving header away over the top of Al Hassan. Long throw from Green this time. Headed up. Rankenberg got a punch to it. Al Hassan's shot falling to Bentley. And that one blocked. Gonzalez. Sprays it wide. Chattanooga nearly getting a second. Lee. Velasquez onto his left, trying to wriggle free. One-time ball met by Ayambilla. Bentley couldn't take it down cleanly. Lee did a good job of dragging a couple Chattanooga players out of position. They could be punished for that here. Cut back, and did it come off of Castro last? It did not. Michael Knapp recovering to concede the corner kick. Another corner on the way for Greenville. Velasquez, 86th minute, back post. Ajakwa on the volley is Evans, and wide of the mark. Very difficult technique to try and take that one first time out of the air. Might have had time to settle it, truthfully. Tried to lock the ankle to no avail. Kept in play, Marsh. Soldiering onward and winning another corner kick. What can Greenville do on this one? Chattanooga have won their aerial duels in the offensive third, but defensively, Greenville have made their mark known. Another shallow delivery, Jacqua going down, and this one overhead. Jason Smith in no hurry to restart this one. Everybody getting up for it. Header in behind, and it forced a messy clearance from Jacqua. Bentley applying the pressure. So too did Al Hassan. Ghanaian will take the corner kick. But there have been updated rules per the law of the game, where the center of the ball needs to be over the white line. That's exactly what the assistant is saying. Low delivery towards Knapp once again. Second ball headed back into the mixer by Gomez. Bentley was there. Bentley was offside. Didn't have a chance to get his wherewithal about him and see where the goal was, but it wouldn't have counted anyways. Marsh. Siobhan Marsh now into the box, trying to equalize it. And Jason Smith will fall on it somewhat comfortably in the end. Difficult angle for Siobhan Marsh. Didn't really get a touch out of his feet to strike through the ball. Castro made the run as well to try and get a touch on it. It's just a fraction late. Pinballing around midfield for a sequence there. Not bad form. Don't think the ball that fan had was regulation, though. The 90th minute has elapsed into the first of 6 at a minimum of stoppage time. Al Hassan to the corner. 3 defenders ready to pursue him. He goes down. Referee says nothing doing. Looked like a push and go and was ready to hop in between the Greenville back line. Didn't get the call he was searching for. Now Matt Bentley is down. Kimball Jackson ready to check in, replacing Joshua Ramos. Defensive-minded change for Scott McKenzie, as Ramos receives his well-earned round of applause. Jackson, a Lexington, Kentucky native, formerly of Lexington SC, the club with which he made his professional debut in 2023. And now his first of the season in League One for Chattanooga. Nutmeg from Knapp, managed to get back onto it. Greenville much more aggressive in their press now. Time not on their side. Still going to try and build this one up in a measured manner. There's a collision at midfield. And despite the appeals from the Chattanooga faithful, it is a foul on the part of Matt Bentley. Long, lofted delivery. Velasquez couldn't get there. Chattanooga can maybe start the break here. Big collision after the ball was played. Referee says no. Al Hassan went down. Instead, the other way with Fricky. Pokes it into the path of Velasquez. Is there to be drama here? Velasquez has a lot of space. And Jason Smith saw it all the way. A rare defensive miscommunication for Chattanooga. Both players following the run. Nobody stayed behind with the ball carrier. That will likely be the best chance of the night for Velasquez. Unless he can find himself in more promising real estate in the final 2.5 minutes. Gonzalez, one-on-one with Jackson. Loses his footing. Jackson will scamper the other way, but not for long. Long ball in, Mensah underneath it, Smith into the sky. Boisterous sound of approval from the Chattanooga fans. '95th minute from CHI Memorial Stadium. This one nearly wrapped up. Can Greenville steal a point? Velasquez plays the overlap. Good cross in. Over everybody. Gonzalez got on the other end of it, but it went out of bounds first. Red Wolves fans are ready to celebrate their first win of the new campaign. They're not over the line yet. And we spoke on an earlier yellow card to the Chattanooga technical area. Now, there has been one shown to Scott McKenzie, who might watch his side get a second here. Into the boxes, Hernandez lost his footing at the final moment. Chance still alive. The challenge comes in and it's a poor one. Siobhan Marsh booked against his former side in his return to Chattanooga. Good block on the part of Ivan Ajakwa against Pedro Hernandez. And there is a trip from Marsh there. Offered no complaints, Siobhan Marsh. 19 goals and 62 appearances for the Red Wolves. Yet to open his account for Greenville. This will be the first win in league play for Chattanooga in 2025. The 19-year-old Ghanaian Al Hassan over it to try and seal this one. Al Hassan drives it. It's over the bar. And that's the last kick of the match. Party time in Chattanooga. The Red Wolves secure their first win of 2025 against the Greenville Triumph. After a cup set in the midweek, Scott McKenzie guides his side to 3 points on home soil for the first time in the new campaign. Full-time score presented by SmartBank. Chattanooga 1, Greenville 0. That man, Zahir Vasquez, the lone difference maker in minute number 53. His first as a Red Wolf. And a very important one at that. Take a look at the play of the match, and it is in fact Zahir Vasquez's goal. One touch to settle it, second touch out of his feet. Play of the match presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Zahir Vasquez's goal, former Central Valley Fuego man, 7 goals and 54 appearances in League One, and now has his first for his new club in just his 4th outing for Chattanooga. Utah man, a lone name on the score sheet, as we will step aside for a brief break. We come back with full-time highlights, and we'll wrap up shop from the Volunteer State. Zahir Vasquez sealing 3 points for the Red Wolves. Back in a bit.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber-fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga, because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Safe to say the Red Wolves fans are excited about 3 points. First on home soil of 2025, 1-0 the final score between Chattanooga and Greenville. The highlights from an action-packed 90 minutes. Let's get them going. Chattanooga and Greenville meeting for the first time of the new campaign, and it was the Red Wolves from start to finish in this one, despite not having a lot of possession, having plenty of shots. The first of the night in the 2nd minute by Joshua Ramos off of the far post. And the header from close range as well, on frame from Eric Kisner. So too was the free kick from Omar Hernandez, but Gunther Rankenberg coming off a Save of the Week nomination, doing his part to deny the Red Wolves. It was 3 shots on target of 9 in the first half for Chattanooga. In the second half, they found the breakthrough. 53rd minute, Zahir Vasquez unassisted off of a deflected pass out of the back from Greenville. In that second half, though, Greenville, despite not having any shots in the first 45, had 10 in the second 45. Looked likely to try and find the breakthrough, but of those 10, only 2 were on target. Chattanooga kept their foot on the gas pedal. This an excellent chance for Matt Bentley, and a great block as well by the substitute, TJ Benton. Then in behind, Pedro Hernandez sitting down a defender as Ivan Ajakwa went to ground, but in fact blocking the chance. And the second ball cleared away. 68% possession for the Triumph on the road. 24 shots in total. As we mentioned, it was a completely different second half for Greenville, but unable to find a way through Jason Smith, who keeps his second clean sheet of his first professional season. A couple corners as well for Greenville that they were unable to make the most of. And in the end, Chattanooga over the line with all 3 points after a very busy few days. That's gonna do it from the Wolves' Den. Players signing signatures, interacting with young fans, and celebrating a hard-fought and well-earned 3 points. Chattanooga getting the job done over Greenville by a final score of 1-0. For everybody behind the scenes making this broadcast possible, for producer Mauricio Rodriguez, I've been Phil Galati saying thanks so much for joining us. 1-0 the final. In an action-packed Week 7 across USL League One, with Chattanooga into the win column for the first time of the new season. Zahir Vasquez, the hero. We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your weekend, and good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.